A billionaire Trump supporter is about to launch a crypto bank. This is really big. And there's a major tokenization initiative happening on the Avalanche blockchain and a very large crypto exchange acquisition you need to know about. I'll give you the details. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we have some very big news coming out about a new crypto bank that is to be unveiled by a billionaire backer of Trump, President Trump, that is. And his name is Andy Beal. So the news says they want to establish a new federally chartered crypto bank called Monet Bank. So this is interesting. I wonder what they're going to be up to here. Obviously, it's going to be crypto related, but I'm curious if it's going to be different from what we've seen so far in the market. Because this person, I honestly didn't know who he was, and I had to look him up. So Andrew Beal, he has his own bank called Beal Bank USA or Beal Bank, and I guess those are the two names. He's the founder and chairman of both. And obviously, he's a billionaire, so he's got money, he's got banking experience. So we do have to wait a bit to hear all the details, but this is very interesting. And if you have banks being established that are crypto focused, you know what that means, folks. More on ramps being built, more liquidity coming into the market, and competition's heating up here, which is really great for the crypto market. But this seems like it's going to be something really big. Moving ahead, Fidelity's CEO, Abigail Johnson, says she still holds Bitcoin, and she was speaking at a conference and she said it will continue to play a role in this savings hierarchy. Now, Abigail has been on record that Fidelity's been mining Bitcoin for a long time. Remember, she talked about having a mining rig on her desk and much more. So they've been at this for a long time. So great to hear that she's still very bullish. You don't often hear from her as much as you do Larry Fink of BlackRock and so forth. But once again, Fidelity has been in the crypto industry doing a lot of testing and working on this technology in the very early days before they made it public. Eventually, they told a story and we found out they've been at this since like 2013. Now, speaking of Bitcoin, Indiana House introduces a bill that would allow pensions to invest in Bitcoin. Most recently, Texas, they bought Bitcoin, right? And they bought the ETFs because that's the easiest way for them to go about it. So we are seeing different states looking to do this, and it's just a matter of time, that all of them do. It's game theory, right? One domino falls, and the other are going to follow after that. So this is very bullish. And I often state it starts with Bitcoin, and then eventually they will move to altcoins. Now look at this news. It's around Avalanche or the Avax token, which is the native token of the Avalanche blockchain. AI-powered studio Mugify partners with Avalanche to tokenize entertainment IP. So folks, we're seeing almost everything getting tokenized on chain, but we know blockchain is going to power the future economies, governments, and markets, right? The blockchain rails will be used. So it's no surprise that these different aspects of society, different verticals and industries are all integrating blockchain technologies. So Mugify, an AI-driven platform for entertainment intellectual property, has partnered with Avalanche to tokenize firms, anime, music, and other media assets, allowing creators to finance and distribute projects directly on chain. The initiative will draw from Mugify's catalog and upcoming films. According to the company, its AI systems trained on thousands of scripts and story structures help evaluate projects before they are brought on chain for financing. Mugify and Avalanche plan to finance more than $10 million in entertainment IP. The company said their long-term target is to exceed $1 billion in annual IP financing throughput. Avalanche said the partnership aims to demonstrate how its network can support large-scale real-world asset issuance. The companies plan to use Avalanche's infrastructure to fund, track, and distribute entertainment projects on-chain. Huge news here. One, tokenization continues, right? And we're seeing, again, different types of assets and content, whatever it may be, getting tokenized on the blockchains. Second, this is very big for Avalanche. I'm an AVAX token holder. I don't have a huge bag or anything like that. I am diversified and I do have some AVAX. I believe Avalanche will be one of the winners, guys. They're getting a lot of adoption. So it's not possible to hold every token, but you want to look for the chains that are getting real world adoption. People are building on them, and take your bets accordingly. Now, speaking of tokenization, licensing to earn protocol turns intellectual property rights into RWAs. So here's another example of IP, getting tokenized. So BeatSwap, a full stack infrastructure that brings IP rights on chain, recently launched its first platform. So this is really great. They're targeting the creator economy, they're targeting artists, music, movies, and all that, similar to the Avalanche tokenization here. So Web3 platform BeatSwap presents a blockchain-based solution that removes the middleman from the process and puts both creators and the audience in the driver's seat of the creator economy. So this is a preview of what's to come, folks. A lot of middlemen and middlemen fees getting cut out, where you can interact directly through the blockchain, and the traditional setup of some of these things are going to be gone. So unlike non-fungible tokens, NFTs, a widespread method for tokenizing IP, RWAs can be fractionalized. This means both the creator and the fans can have a stake in the IP and gain a right to its appreciation and revenue stream. Alongside royalties paid out in USDT, participants also receive BTX, the ecosystem's native token, through the licensing to earn mechanism, adding an additional layer of rewards. BeatSwap utilizes decentralized physical network DePIN infrastructures to track usage data and takes monthly snapshots to determine distributions. Constant on-chain records allow all parties to gain a transparent view of how each work is used, how much revenue it generates, and how loyalty payments are shared. Again, folks, this is the future. And what you may see, some of these companies, these startups and so forth, like BeatSwap, they're not going to come in and take over an industry, but rather traditional industry players may acquire them and integrate the technology. It's kind of what we've seen in Web 2, but you never know. There could be some of these startups which are game changing, and they present such an incredible solution that the masses, the consumers, start gravitating to them, and they become the powerhouses, right? Folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain. VeChain is one of the top layer one enterprise blockchains out there. They're getting adoption by many companies and brands across the globe. VeChain has 5 million plus active users, 350 applications built on it, and has been around since 2015. They're partnering with Dana White and the UFC. This year, Dana White said he bought $1 million in the VET token. I'm a VET token holder. I have been since 2018, folks. I'm bullish on this project. And some of the key features of the VeChain blockchain includes it is fast, sustainable, scalable, secure, compliant, and purpose-led. And some of the brands that have worked with VeChain include Boston Consulting Group, BMW, Walmart China, PwC, and many more. So if you'd like to learn more about VeChain, go to vechain.org. Link will be in the description. Now check this out. WisdomTree first to market with Ethereum staking fund using Lido's ST-ETH. So WisdomTree, they've been a TradFi player, and they're now entering crypto, launching Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs, and so forth. I recently interviewed Will Peck of WisdomTree at Chainlink SmartCon. So they're doing a lot of great things, and this is interesting that they're using Lido's staking setup. So WisdomTree introduced an Ethereum-based exchange-traded product in Europe that earns staking rewards using the decentralized Lido protocol. The WisdomTree physical Lido stake Ether ETP debuted Thursday under the ticker LIST. It holds only ST-ETH. So you're having dedicated staking ETFs here, and this is going to be launched for all the proof of stake blockchains, Solana and Cardano, and much more. So really great to see all of these on-ramps being built globally, not just here in the United States. And in fact, the United States is kind of catching up to the rest of the world, because in the EU and some other jurisdictions like Canada, you had these products for the most part live. They were ahead of the United States, and now the United States is catching up. But folks, I hope you see what's happening here, right? The financialization of these crypto assets and on-ramps being built globally. Now, here's some very big news. This is a huge acquisition. Turkey's Paribu to buy Coinmina in a deal worth up to $240 million, adding Dubai and Bahrain licenses. So huge acquisition here. Paribu has acquired Coinmina, the largest local crypto exchange in the Middle East and North Africa, in a deal valued at up to $240 million as the Turkish company seeks to expand its cross-border presence. The move gives Paribu, already one of Turkey's leading crypto and fintech players, immediate license access to two of the region's most active regulatory regimes, the companies announced in a statement on Thursday. Through CoinMina, Paribu inherits a broker-dealer virtual asset service provider license. Wow, that's a mouthful. From Dubai's Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority and a crypto asset service provider license from the Central Bank of Bahrain. So, folks, again, the expansion, the M&A is heating up, the investments, game theory is playing out here. No one wants to get left behind. Everybody's expanding. They know this asset class is very young. It's going to continue to grow. People are going to invest in it as legislation and all these things roll out across the globe. And it's going to become a massive, massive asset class because you're seeing the traditional assets, as we were talking about tokenization, are being brought on chain. So all of that's going to fall under the umbrella of digital assets and crypto. So this is really, really big. Folks, I want to highlight something. This is the final news item. SpaceX is planning to do an IPO in when? 2026. Goes back to the theme I've been sharing with you all. We have AI companies, you have traditional tech companies, and you have crypto companies all looking to do IPOs in 2026. You have the SEC chair saying we want to make IPOs great again and have more of it in 2026. But a lot of people are saying we're in a bear market. That's it. The stock market is topped out. Crypto is topped out. Something is not adding up here. And I'm just sharing the news here. And look, I don't have a crystal ball, but I've been saying there are bearish signals on the charts, but the macro, these news items here, and of what the Fed is doing and the end of quantitative tightening and the continued rate cuts are all signaling there's still more in this bull market. But look, I may be wrong, but again, I'm just sharing the facts of these companies are looking to go public. You got OpenAI, you got in the crypto market, Securitize, Grayscale, Kraken, and others. So why the dichotomy, right? And this is why it's almost leading me to think of this pullback we're seeing right now. It's a deep correction, but it's just a local top correction, right? That we will continue, and there's still a blow up top left in this market. But who knows? All right. I don't have a time machine. I wish I did. Many of you know I've given the example of Biff in Back to the Future, right? Where he gives his younger self the all sports almanac so he knows the future outcomes of the games. I wish I had something like that for crypto and even the stock market, right? But unfortunately, we don't. But you know, we can look at the facts, we can look at the data, the charts, and so forth, and form our thesis and use the facts, right, and the data versus our feelings and emotions and gut feelings. So, again, what the hell is happening? Why is SpaceX looking to do an IPO? Who the hell goes public in a bear market? No one, because liquidity is usually dried up, right? Investors don't have money, and there's not you don't get the same valuations. So again, if you read between the lines, put your thinking cap on here. What's happening? Are we? I think if we're in a bear market already, it means that 2026 is going to be worse, right? But this is where we're going to have to wait and see. I'm still leaning towards the bullish side. So you guys let me know what you think. If you agree with me, do you have an explanation? The bearish folks, do you have an explanation why these companies are looking to go public in 2026 if we're entering a bear market, right? Or some of you say we are already in a bear market. So it just doesn't make sense. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. A great way to support the podcast is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free. Check out the link in the description. And check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And my course at mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. And I'll talk to you all later.